Hi, I'm Gohar Vardanyan, and this is the Strings by my Lessonette. In today's Lessonette, I'll be talking about natural harmonics and how to make them sound as crisp and as resonant as possible. Natural harmonics are the ones that occur naturally at specific locations on the fretboard, and those specific locations are at the 12th fret, at the 7th fret, at the 5th fret, and also at the 4th fret. Now these harmonics have their unison equivalents, but most commonly in your repertoire you will probably encounter them at these locations. To make them sound as crisp and as resonant, there are 4 different things that you have to think about. Number 1 is the location, and most often than not you have to place the finger right above the fret, and by fret I mean the actual metal part of it. So not to the side, but right in the middle. And this is true for the 12th fret, the 7th fret, the 5th fret. But for the 4th fret, it gets a little bit tricky. If you place the finger above the fret, even on the best concert guitar, it sounds a little bit more muted. But if you experiment and find a different location, which could be a little bit further back, you'll get a cleaner, more resonant sound. Where exactly that is, you have to figure out on your own and with your guitar. For me, it's about the same place where I would finger the note. So you can tell the difference between this and this. It's a slight difference, but it makes it a little bit more resonant. The next thing is how much pressure you apply with your left and the right hands. Usually, you don't want to be too light on the harmonic, because then you get a buzzy sound. But also you don't want to press too hard, because then you get a muted sound. So you have to figure out a balance, where it's not too light and not too much pressed. The third thing is when you release the finger. A lot of beginners, what they do is when they play a harmonic, they leave the finger on the string. And what happens is that you're actually muting that string because you're not allowing it to vibrate freely. What you need to do is right after plucking the string, you have to let go. But don't let go too soon, because then there is a chance of accidentally actually hearing the open string. And don't let go too late. You want to find that balance, which is right after you pluck, where you're allowing the harmonic to develop, but then you're releasing and allowing the string to continue vibrating without touching it. And that's a very kind of balanced thing you have to practice and figure out for each note. Some notes you need to let go faster, some others you need to hold on to them a little longer. You have to hear and listen and make sure that what you do, you're getting the most resonant sound and the cleanest. And the last thing, you need to know where exactly to pluck in the right hand. You think that the harmonics, the natural harmonics, are all left hand, but where you pluck in the right hand makes a difference. For the 12th fret, you have a little more wiggle room. A harmonic will sound good whether you pluck it here or here. You'll have a change of color, but the harmonic will still sound. For harmonics that are further away from the 12th fret, usually it's better to pluck more ponticello, so closer to the bridge. If I pluck the 5th fret harmonics here, you can hear noise. And this is because when you're plucking the string in the middle of the soundboard, the string is very loose and soft here. So when you pluck it, we actually move it and displace it with our right hand just from the power of the stroke. You'll have to be very careful here and play very piano not to disturb it. But here, you can be a little stronger. And because the string is already so tight, it's not going to move too much and it's not going to make too much noise. So for each note and within that piece, you kind of have to figure out the pressure and the release time and the location in the right hand. And this isn't really a one-size-fits-all kind of a thing. You have to balance it out specifically to that harmonic to make it sound as crisp. So don't be afraid to experiment with your instrument and with the different locations to make them sound resonant. Once you experiment, then you have to kind of remember, so that next time you come around, you know that, for example, for me, my 9th fret harmonic, I have to pluck about here, and I have to press just a little bit off the fret to make it sound as resonant as possible. So go ahead and experiment with your own harmonics.